Hello, hello. John Mason. John Mason. How is everybody? How is everybody? Americans, as we approach the 4th of July, what do we have to celebrate? I know certainly we have a lot to be ashamed of. Thanks to our glorious Miss Leader, the COVID-19 virus is spreading and spiking in several southern and western states. And it is because of that, the European Union is banning the United States, citizens from the United States from entering its boundaries because they have the coronavirus under control and we don't. I can get the logic. They had the virus, they had it under control, they don't want it anymore. I get it. But we have the virus running rampant in certain states, under better control in certain other states. But as Americans, we have it. And we're not going to not have it. We're not going to eradicate it until we get decent leadership who respects science, who's willing to do the work to urge people to wear masks and order the manufacture of vaccines and respirators and PPEs. We need leadership now. We can't wait until Election Day, and we damn sure can't wait until Inauguration Day. Our movement is to force Trump to resign. Maybe even Mitch McConnell and his pet Senate will get the hint. I don't know, but it's a fight for America. How important is it? A recent report in the New York Times has shown that military and intelligence units from Russia have put a contract for Taliban fighters in Afghanistan to collect on the lives of American soldiers. And what does our commander-in-chief do? Nothing. He does nothing to protect the lives of American servicemen and women. Why? To make his master Putin happy. Not only does he do nothing to penalize Russia for this act, he's been moving to include Russia back into the group of G7 nations. Russia was kicked out of the G8 due to the invasion of Crimea and its internal intervention in the affairs of the Ukraine. And now Trump wants Putin back as a respectable international player. He does the same with Xi Jinping in China and Kim Jong-un in North Korea. And his big thing anymore is to have his massive rallies so that he can have his adoring crowds. Not adoring crowds. The rally in Tulsa in a huge auditorium, the huge arena, was a disaster. It wasn't just the young kids putting in false reservations in the arena and spreading the word over TikTok. People have sense enough to realize this weird thing lurking around the White House is the enemy within. It has to be eliminated. What we got is adoring crowds in Phoenix, another COVID hotspot. Let's back up a little. Health officials in Tulsa urged Trump not to hold the rally because Oklahoma, and particularly the area around Tulsa, was a COVID hotspot. But he went anyway. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about his supporters any more than he cares about peaceful protesters protesting centuries of systemic racism. Americans, let us start now the work of saving America. As we approach the 4th of July, our Independence Day, let us do the patriotic thing. Let us carry on the spirit and the work of our revolutionary forebears. Let us stand up for freedom. Let us assert ourselves in every venue possible. At the letters of the editor, in the media, in public forums, in the streets, and definitely in the voting booth. Get out and vote. And let's see what we can do before November 3rd. And one positive sign that we're having a reassessment of the people we're supposed to idolize in our history, like with the tearing down of Confederate statues. Way long overdue. It had nothing to do with celebrating the valor of Lee and Jefferson Davis and Stonewall Jackson. It was an attempt in the post-Reconstruction era to reassert the power of Jim Crow over the descendants of the former slaves. That's all it was. And another spike in the building of these Confederate monuments came as the Civil Rights era was ginning up in the 50s. They have to be taken down. And particularly the military bases named after Confederate traitors. I would no more commemorate Robert E. Lee with a military base than I would Hermann Goering. That's what we have to do. We have to think for ourselves and stand up for our communities. Let's make our stands now, Americans. Learn the issues, stand up for what you believe in, and get out and vote. Thank you. Happy Independence Day. Bye-bye.